A new report from Politico shows that California Representative Adam Schiff, who is now eyeing a Senate seat in the state of California, has been directing federal funds to campaign donors using what are called earmarks. Now, if you're wondering what an earmark is, very simple. Earmarks, occasionally referred to as pork, are small grants to programs and projects in congressional districts. Now, typically, Schiff likes to brag about the earmarks he's provided to solve homelessness. I live in California. There's no solving homelessness in this state, that's for sure. All the money that's poured into that effort apparently hasn't been working, but that's a different topic. In 2021, Democrats had ended a 10-year earmark moratorium. And before that ban went into place, Adam Schiff definitely took advantage of the earmark system to provide all sorts of goodies and cookies to his corporate donors. A Political review of congressional earmarks and political contributions found that in addition to the money for homelessness and drug treatment, Schiff also steered millions to for-profit companies and raised tens of thousands for his House re-election campaigns from corporate executives and people connected to them. I just want to note that this is a piece written in Politico, which is a pretty establishment publication. So Cenk, you got to give them credit where credit is due. They're specifically talking about corruption here, and they're talking about really what I would like to describe as a quid pro quo system in which the corporate donors provide the legalized bribes, and then the politician who took those bribes offers the earmarks and government grants to the corporations or special interests.
You kidding me? Of course, huge credit to Politico for this piece. If they wrote pieces like this that tell you how politics actually works on a consistent basis, then I'd love Politico. Why don't I like them generally? Because they never mention stuff like this in other pieces. But good, today, wonderful job, Politico. But guys, more importantly, the Democratic establishment doesn't like Adam Schiff despite this. They like him because of this. This is what they all engage in, Gavin Newsom, Nancy Pelosi, etc. That's why they're backing Adam Schiff in the California Senate race.
So let me give you the details that Politico provided, the specific examples. Now, Adam Schiff's office told Politico that he does not have records of his earmarks from the time he entered Congress in 2001 until 2007. However, Politico compiled publicly available data on for-profit earmarks and corresponding campaign contributions between 2003 and 2020. And among them, Schiff secured millions in funding from Smiths Detection and FazeBridge Inc., defense companies based in his district. He steered $6 million to Smiths Detection for military warfare sensors between 2003 and 2006, and earmarked another $3 million to FazeBridge that was developing a radar frequency distribution system for the Navy in 2004. Now, Smiths Detection and FazeBridge both retained PMA Group, a lobbying firm founded and owned by Paul Magliochetti. Between 2004 and 2008, Schiff received $8,500 in contributions from PMA Group, PAC, and two of Magliochetti's family members, his lobbyist son, Mark, and daughter, Jennifer. And then in 2011, Magliochetti was sentenced to 27 months in prison for making hundreds of thousands of dollars in illegal campaign contributions between 2003 and 2008, among the largest schemes to evade donation limits ever uncovered. There's more, but any comment, Cenk?
Yeah, look, the stuff that's illegal is of course even more concerning, but overall though, the main problem is the stuff that's legal, where they give within the campaign limits or they give to super PACs where it's unlimited, and then they get goodies in return. They give a couple of $1,000 and they get back a couple of $1 million. And that's how this game is played for almost all of those corporate politicians, which is about 90% of the politicians we have in Washington.
In fact, in fiscal year 2008, Adam Schiff guided nearly a third of his earmarks to for-profit companies that were run by campaign donors. Let's take a look at this chart real quick. So according to this graphic, Schiff directed $1 million to Pasadena-based Eureka Aerospace, which was developing military technology to stop vehicles that ignored checkpoints. Eureka Aerospace CEO James Tatoian contributed about $24,600 to Schiff between 2006 and 2016. Others in his household gave another $9,950 through 2020. And Schiff channeled $1 million to Tanner Research Inc. for detecting IEDs. The CEO, John Tanner, had donated $15,800 to him between 2003 and 2012. Like, these are the earmarks, by the way, that Schiff doesn't talk about in his campaigning. He only focuses on like, oh, I secured earmarks for homelessness and drug addiction treatment. Well, why are you hiding all of those earmarks to defense contractors and all these private for-profit corporations?
And guys, look at the scale of it. You see it, somebody gives $8,500, they get back $1 million, right? Well, wouldn't you do that all day long? That's why I keep telling you, and that's what I wrote in Justice is Coming. You'd be crazy as a business not to bribe these officials. Now they're legalized bribes, they're called campaign contributions. They're a tiny amount and you get back millions. So Adam Schiff is the prototypical establishment Democrat. And the Democrats defend him by saying, oh, what are we supposed to do? We can't do unilateral disarmament. That's why we have to take corporate cash and do everything they ask for, just like the Republicans. It's true, the Republicans are at least as corrupt, but that doesn't make it better when the Democrats do it.
Hey, thanks for watching that video. We really appreciate it, guys. And we appreciate it if you become members because that allows us to be independent, honest, progressive, all the things that you don't get from corporate media. And all of that is because of you guys. Hit the join button below and become one of us, become a Young Turk.